as repeatedly said. Joining us now from Washington, Republican Zach Wamp, a member of the House Appropriations Committee. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us, sir.
Thank you, Rick.
You gotta hate this stuff, right? I mean, here now, I'm put in a position where I have to ask you about which one you're going to agree with or which one you're going to back, Rush Limbaugh or Mitt Romney.
Well, I think from time to time you can find some good in what anybody says, but frankly, we need to listen more to the people back home and not so much just the voices out there. There's not much difference between entertainment and journalism on some fronts, and then, frankly, the voices that always chime in from the outside. We're here in the battle. About the only pretty thing coming out of Washington this week is the cherry blossoms. The budget is not too pretty here. It's way too much spending and too much taxing and too much borrowing. This is important for us to listen to the people back home.
You heard what I just read that Limbaugh said. Is that offensive? I mean, if you could come up to him as his friend, and listen, I've been with Rush, he and I have sat around, watched football together. Would you say to him, you know, Rush, don't go there, man. That's a little too much. That's not going to play with the Church of God folks in that region of Tennessee that you want to be the governor of.
Now, how'd you know the Church of God folks are from my region of Tennessee? You're right.
Because I covered many a story up there.
You're right. Listen, I don't want to get into crossfire here, but the fact is entertainers sometimes say things. We really need serious-minded policy people to help chart this ship of state out of these rocky waters right now. And so we shouldn't spend so much time caught in what others are saying. We need to really focus on what does it take to get our country back on the right track. And I really think we've got big problems now, and it's getting worse, not better.
A lot of my buddies in Tennessee say the good betting money has you being the next governor of that state. And that's probably a pretty good bet, I would imagine, given your reputation. But as a member of Congress right now, you voted against the stimulus. I mean, as the guy who may be the next governor of Tennessee, wouldn't you want that money?
Well, I would have even turned down the unemployment insurance piece of it because it, frankly, is a unfunded mandate beyond the years that the stimulus funds. And so the vast majority of it I would have accepted as governor. But then again, it was just too much spending. Listen, Rick, about 15% of the stimulus was very effectively spent. The rest of it really grows the government, and it's too much. I mean, at home, the budgets are being cut to get through tough times. Local government's cutting the budget. State government's cutting the budget. Only in Washington is there this mindset that we can spend our way into prosperity. So, no, it was just too much. There's a lot of things coming out of Washington today, Rick, that are just too much. And the people are with me back home, and I'll probably be outspent in this campaign, but I think I'll win because the people today are wanting leaders, not rich people, not the elite, not Wall Street, not big business, big oil, big pharmaceutical, but regular folks to represent them. That's important today.
No, I know. And listen, one of the things we've always liked about you on this show is your spunk. You said something, though, recently that I got to ask you about.
Yeah.
You were asked about health care. And you said something that makes me wonder, do you really think that Americans can only get health care or should only get health care if they can buy it? Do you believe that?
I was interrupted in the middle of the sentence because access to health care is a right. And the debate was, is health care a right or is it a privilege? And they still ask that question to college students. Both of my kids are students at the University of Tennessee, my tie today, and they still have that debate. And it's important as we look at health care to make sure that people have access to health care, but we also don't necessarily guarantee to everybody, no matter what, food. And food's just as essential as health care. So at some point, you got to say, what's the proper role of the government? And I think access to health care ought to be the goal. I think there's, frankly, a way that we can keep a free market model and extend health care to everybody in this country. Everybody should have access to health care. I agree with that 100%.
Okay.
But some of what I was saying was kind of taken out of context.
I get that. Zach Wamp, thanks for being with us.
Rick Sanchez, thank you.
This is for